Hello, 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 good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's perspective for September 26th, the last Thursday in September. And da, 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 obviously, it is a thoughtful Thursday. Thoughtful Thursday. Hey, Mr. Threet. Okay, so this week's Thoughtful Thursday selection is a short little powerful, wonderful book of encouragement. It is entitled When God Winks at You by Squire Rushnell. When God Winks at You by Squire Rushnell. Hey, Suzanne, is this week's Thoughtful Thursday selection. And okay, so the subtitle is How God Speaks Directly to You Through the Power of Coincidence. Absolutely, just a delightful book. Delightful is too weak of a word. Well, hello, Ira Kelly and Bridget and Mary. Thank you for all who are jumping on with me today. Because what it is, every time I pick it up, first of all, it's not a book that you have to read from front to cover. You can go in at various chapters and just pick out something because there's no way you will not leave, not close the book feeling as if God really He remembers me. He remembers me. He remembers that I'm here. You know how sometimes you can just feel so alone. There are times when you can feel as if you are the only person going through what you're going through, as if you have been forgotten. This is an entire book of quote unquote coincidences that happen to people around the globe. And it's an older book. It was published in '06. Incidents in people's lives, some of them know God, some of them were the antithesis of wanting to even hear about a God. But then they were put into a situation where they just threw up a prayer, not even knowing, not even believing. So let me just, and it just leaves you encouraged and reminded that we serve a God, especially if you call him your savior. But we serve a God. We have a God who does not miss anything. He misses nothing. And it doesn't matter what your emotions may tell you. You're all alone. You're by yourself. No one is listening. There is no God. It's too late for you, girl. You are too deep into that hole. No one can help you. Did you hear what the doctor said? Did you hear what the lawyer said? When those times come, it's very easy to just throw your hands up and say, no one can help me. But if you know a God, and you know that there is absolutely nothing too hard for God and nothing impossible, this is the kind of book that can just push you to hold on a little longer. So I want to read you just some of the chapter names. Okay, so first of all, let me see if they give a very quickie. I should have marked it. God winks. Okay, every time you receive what some call a coincidence or an answered prayer, it's a direct and personal message of reassurance from God to you. And the author, Squire Rushnell, calls that a God wink. Every answered prayer, every time a coincidence works out for you, it is a direct and personal message of reassurance from the Almighty Creator to you. So that's what he calls a God wink. So God winks are personal and they give, oh my goodness. Okay, let me very quickly just tell you this one story. This one particular lady had searched for her mom for years, and to no avail. This one particular Sunday, she decided to go, just so happened that she would go to a church, and it was one of those mega churches, like 1,000 seats in the audience. She just so happened to sit in a particular row in the center of the row and was just, low key just going to church. It just so happened that a woman sat beside her. As a matter of fact, she had come from out of town. This wasn't even her church. She had come from out of town and sat in the same particular section, same particular row beside her. They got to talking. That was her daughter. That was her mom. I mean, just amazing. Okay, I'm not even going to go into too many of the other stories, but they are stories, true stories of factual information that God is still hearing you, that he still is in the answering business, that nothing is too hard for him. So God winks are personal, and then they give, Squire Rushnell gives 4 or 5 little stories. And each story is short. I mean, like 2 or 3 pages. God winks of hope and reassurance. Who doesn't need a little hope every once in a while? God winks on transitions. God winks on comfort. And God winks on prayer. God winks on unanswered prayer. God winks just in time. God winks on family. And God winks on quests. So I just, okay, so my time is, okay, so I have time for another quickie. 2 men and their dog had gone out. This was down in Louisiana, some swampy part of Louisiana where the fishing is good. And they had gone out. It was early morning, dark, and they had taken one of their, I don't know nothing about fishing, but it wasn't a big boat. It was just like a little boat that you go out fishing on, but nothing big. I'm telling you, it was big enough. It was small enough that the wind topped it over. They knew that bad time. I'm talking this Thursday's thoughtful Thursday selection is when God, oh, that's upside down. Oh, Lord. Okay, believe me, the title is When God Winks at You. Let me just hold it like that. When God Winks at You, Squire Rushnell. They had gone out fishing early in the morning, like 5 a.m., and they knew the weather was going to be bad, but they figured if they could get ahead of it to the middle, it was going to be peaceful and calm. Didn't work out like that. Boat turned over. This was in December, so it was frigid water. One man was older and out of shape, and he was, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. His friend, who absolutely did not have anything to do with God, though he had people in his life that believed and was always praying for him. Anyway, as I'm making this story longer, the younger man was just saying, just hold on. Somebody's going to come. Somebody's going to come. He decided, when your life is in your hands, he didn't really believe that anybody was coming, but he just kept saying it. And he recalled his girlfriend and his sister, talking to him about God. And he just said, God, can you please send someone to help us? Can you please send a boat out here? Within 2 minutes, a big old boat that he later found out was not even supposed to be there. Wasn't even supposed to be there because of the weather. It got shifted and they were going to delay down in this little lower part of the water. It was a huge boat. So they got the person's attention, and there was 2 people on the board, husband, wife team. He jumped in, pulled the bigger man back to the boat because it was a huge boat. It couldn't get to where they were. The younger man, the non-believer, swam. They called in a life flight for the older man. I mean, and he goes into more detail, but those kind of things, when you don't even believe that you can be saved, that you can be rescued, that you can be heard, all of us, even those with the strongest faith, at some time, at some point, need a little reassurance that you're not out here on your own, that God is still able. Hey, mother, that God is still able, that God still hears us, that God can make a way, that is not too far gone, that you can. The stories on family. Okay. So that is my offering to you today. A short book on reassurance that God, let me tell you one more time what a God wink is. Okay. Put your peepers back on. Cute and blind do not match. Every time you receive what some call a coincidence or even an answered prayer, it is a direct and personal message of reassurance from God to you. From God to you. And so he calls those God winks. That is this thought. This is this Thursday's Thoughtful Thursday selection. Squire Rushnell, when God winks at you. Again, hop around to the stories. It will leave you encouraged. It will leave you reminded that, yeah, there is a God. And yes, he absolutely loves you individually and personally. That is my selection. I hope you enjoy it. I know you'll enjoy it. I know you will enjoy it. Make it a thoughtful Thursday. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing. And until next time, take real good care of yourselves.